So I want to share a story about last night when I was assaulted, um, and share the experience and the millions of thoughts going through my head, etc. So I pull up to an event last night. I'll show the story first. And I mean, I'm pulling up to an event. I don't know where it is. I just know it's at this building, right? So I park, and as I open my door, two people are on scooters, like the non-powered version, and they scoot up to me like really fast. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they must be people I know. That is my first thought. So I'm getting ready to like give these people a hug. That's what's going on in my mind. And I quickly realized, oh no, this isn't good. I do not know these people. And so they start harassing me, I guess you would say. And it turns out I parked on the wrong side of the building for where the event is. So I'm walking up to the door of the building, and they're like behind me, I don't even know what they were saying. And then I realized this door is not going to be open. I think it's on the other side. So then I have the split second thought of, do I jump back in my car? But part of me doesn't want to look back because I know they're kind of like following me. So I kind of cut through, and I decide walking is the best thing. And I'm walking, and that is the like 2 or 3 seconds I had where I could have called 911, but I didn't. Just a thought there. I didn't scream. There was nobody else there. So I'm walking towards the other side of the building, and I don't know, like 500 feet. It's a big building, right? It's really long. And I'm walking, and I'm like, there's doors over there. I can't go. They're just constantly yelling at me and saying things. And I'm like, I'm here for love. Like, of course I'm saying this. And I don't even think I realized how much of a fight or flight mode I was in. But I was having all these split second thoughts. I'm like, do I call my friend? Would he even answer? Do I have time to even look down at my phone right now? Do I scream? Do I call 911? Do I run? Like, I'm having all of these thoughts. Did I act on any of those? No. What did I do? I'm talking to them. And they're like flipping out at me. I won't go into all the details of what they were saying, but they're just, constantly just really, I think what they wanted was to rile me up. Their intention was for me to be riled up and then to react in a physical way. And I turn to like make eye contact and acknowledge them. And I turn, and I did not realize that the woman was literally like right here. And so when I turn, I accidentally hit her. Not hit her, it was like a touch or a tap. But to them, they considered it a hit, of course. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't realize you were like that close, because they're on scooters. It's like quiet. They're just like pushing with their feet, and yeah. So I'm like, oh man. So then the guy's like, oh, I can't, that's not okay. Like, I'm on parole. I can't do anything. You get her. You got her. And they're like going off, and I'm like just picking up the pace a little bit. And then I start to hear people communicating like from around the building. And so I'm like just talking, and I'm like, I'm here for an event. It's all about love. And like talking about like not having kids, because they're like, you probably have kids, and da 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 da. I'm like, actually, no, I really want kids. Like sharing all these things, and having all these thoughts like I'm gonna show up to the event with like black eyes, blue eyes, and I don't even think I realized that like I was freaking out inside, because then I get around the corner and there's people outside, and they like zoomed in front of me. The woman in her scooter like stood in front of me, and she was giving me like the craziest eyes, and I'm like, I'm here for love, like, and in my mind as a healer, I'm like throwing love bubbles around them. And then I'm like making these hand motions like, come, can you come? Because I didn't know these. I knew I'm like, 1% of the people there. And so I'm trying to like direct them to come, because they're thinking that, apparently they told me later that they thought the people were coming with me. And then they realized, no, I was in distress. So someone came and they like got me out of the situation and took me into the building, and then the other people handled the rest or whatever. And totally broke down once I got inside the building. And then I went back to the event, or like got involved with the event and the people and like connecting, and like a huge part of me just wanted to debrief what just happened with somebody, which is why I feel like I'm doing this video, because I'm doing this for me too. But then also looking back, I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I source that? Because I'm responsible for it all, right? So to me, I'm responsible for it all. So what in me sourced that situation? And by the way, a week ago, I had a dream that 4 people or 5 people showed up at my door and basically were there to assault me. And I'm like, I think you got the wrong house. That's what I said. I'm like, I think you have the wrong house. And then I wake up in like this panic mode as the guy's like in my room and like trying to tape me up and all these things. I wake up out of the dream and I'm like, oh hell no, I'm going back in. I'm gonna turn this around. And I went back in and I'm like, you guys came to the right place. I'm a master healer. Like I can support you in ancestral healing and all this stuff. And like the guy actually ended up letting me do a healing on him. And then he stole my car, because we did the healing in my car for some reason. And then he's like, now give me your car. Thank you. Give me your car. I'm like, okay, here you go. So it's just crazy, because I'm like, was that a premonition? But I think looking back at all the situation that happened, like the beauty of it all is I was protected. And really acknowledging that I was protected through all that, right? Nothing did happen. They didn't lay a hand on me. The only person laid a hand on anyone was me laying my hand on the girl accidentally, or the back of my hand. And knowing that I was protected, and that when I did get around the corner, like I was even more so protected by all these people coming to support me. And like, just like the love that I got afterwards, And then what is also amazing that I notice is, although like I was totally safe, angels are around me. Thank you, Archangel Michael. And I thought about my mom. My mom is always praying for us. And like how powerful that is. How powerful it is to be filled with God and filled with love and filled with light, which is something I practice every day as part of being a healer. And in that moment, even though as scary as it was, right, and they were pretty much numb to everything I was saying, even though I was communicating with them the whole time, is that I was trying to relate with them, and I was like loving them up and blessing them and putting them in these love bubbles as I was going through this whole process. Another thought is, I've been doing all this training with my trainer. Shout out to him. It's all about, we do all this reactive stuff and like fight or flight. And it's amazing that even, I'm crying or whatever right now, but like I got to a pretty neutral state, not neutral, but like calm state really quickly. Like I was out till 1:30 last night with friends that were in town because I wanted to spend time with them. Or not 1:30, like I got home at like 1 or something. But yeah, so I was able to shift out of that state pretty quickly. But yeah, I think initially my focus was like what in me caused that, or what in me sourced that situation, right? And all I can say is I'm all about leveling up. I'm all about leveling up. And I leveled up in that moment. And I supported the world in that moment by blessing those beautiful people, because I'm sure in there is some good, I know that. And so hopefully that situation of communicating, maybe it hit them today. I don't know. But I pray that they felt the love and that I supported them in some way, in a good way. And yeah, the cops were called, all that was done. Apparently they're like known for the area for harassing and assaulting people. So that is my story. I am safe, I am protected, and I am loved. I am so loved. And I have like the most amazing support system around me. And those are part of the lessons. And yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. Okay.